As a family of 6, I have tried basically every method of doing laundry. I've done the 1 load a day, washing by person, doing it all in one day. I've done AM, PM load, even family systems. And after trying them all out over the past few years, I have finally discovered the best one. The one that is gonna work best time and time again. And you wanna know which one that is? It is the one that works for your current season of life. Womp womp. I don't know if you were hoping for something a little bit different. Okay, so let me explain what I mean a little bit further. Now, I've tried all of these methods and I've used them consistently for months on end, and they all have pros and they all have cons. And I'm gonna dive into each one of them shortly. I'm gonna tell you about their benefits and about their pitfalls. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is they're not one size fits all when it comes to laundry methods. It really comes down to your season of life, what your days look like, how much laundry you need to get through in a week, and more, right? When I had like 0 to 2 kids, the load a day method worked really well for us. When I was in very busy seasons of life, I would shift to the AM PM system. Once I had 3 kids, I switched to washing by category / by person. I was sick of trying to have to sort through so many people's stuff. And when my 4th was born, my husband wanted to take over doing the laundry, and he does washing the laundry all in one day, and that works for him. All of these methods have worked in different seasons of life. So the best one is just whichever one is suited for the season that you're in. Okay, so the first method is the load a day. So this one is pretty simple, right? You're washing, you're drying, you're folding, and you're putting away a single load every single day. The goal is to stay ahead of the laundry pile by keeping things moving at a steady pace. And it's really good for people who I think really like routines and habits and are good at sticking with routines and habits. And obviously ideal for people who are home the majority of the day, because it is going to require a couple steps throughout the day. Some of the pros is the biggest benefit is obviously it keeps the laundry from ever getting out of control. It is like a really manageable rhythm, works really well with families because you're never dealing with like one big, huge, overwhelming pile of laundry. But it does require consistency. If you skip a day or 2, things can pile up really, really fast. So a helpful tip I think is to tie each part of the process to something you're already doing in your daily routine. So maybe you start the washer when you wake up, you switch it after breakfast, you fold it and put it away before dinner or whatever. This way it becomes a little bit more automatic because it's tied to other habits and it's less likely that you forget a step. This method does require that you do multiple steps every single day, so that can be a little bit tricky. The next one is the laundry day. So this is like a laundry marathon. You're doing all of your laundry in one day. All of the laundry from start to finish. You're washing everything, drying everything, folding everything, and putting it all away. And the best thing about this method is you don't have to think about laundry for the rest of the week. It's really nice knowing the laundry has a set day. You kind of are just like agreeing to power through that one day, get all of the laundry finished. And personally, I like this method because I think it's easier to plan outfits since everything gets cleaned at one time. Because I like to pull all of my kids' outfits for the entire week at the beginning of the week. So everything's ready, like I have a spot where I keep it. Now, the downside of doing all of your laundry in one day is that it's kind of intense, right? Especially if you have a big family, that is a lot to do all in one day. Trying to get everything done is going to be very time consuming for that day. It is likely that you might run out of steam before the final step of folding and putting away happens. And so that is definitely one downside. One of my best tips for the laundry day method is set timers on your phone, like every 60 minutes or whatever, so you don't forget to switch loads. An important one with this one is that you make sure you're switching and you're moving through the laundry and you don't get to like 6 p.m. and realize you only did a load. I also definitely suggest still washing your clothes by person or category, so when it's time to fold and put everything away, it's already kind of sorted and ready to go, instead of just throwing everything into the wash. And finally, it may work to have one wash day and one put away day, just so it's not quite so overwhelming. Lately, that's what we've been doing actually. I told you that my husband right now does most of our laundry, so he will do all of the washing and we just pile it in our bedroom in one day. And then the next day, usually when my youngest 2 are napping, together we go and power through putting it all away. All right, the third method is what I call the category-based schedule. This method basically breaks your laundry down by category or by person, and then you can assign each one to different days if you want. So for example, it might be like towels on Monday, kids clothes on Tuesdays, and then your own clothes on Thursdays. So for me with multiple kids, we have done it where like each day was a different person. I found it as a really great way to make laundry feel less overwhelming throughout the week. I find it especially helpful for bigger families because it makes putting clothes away a lot easier because you're dealing with one category at a time. When that load comes out of the dryer, you know exactly where it all goes. It basically takes away the step of sorting which is my personal least favorite thing when it comes to laundry, which is why I love the category-based system. Plus, it is a really great way to get your kids involved if you have children, because each child has their own laundry day. It's a really easy way for them to start learning how to help with sorting and folding, maybe even doing their own loads. Now, some of the drawbacks to this system is it does take some planning. You need to be somebody who is organized enough and good with your planning of time. You need to keep track of who or what goes on which days, you know, or if like the week gets off track, it can sort of be hard to catch up. If you're someone who every single week looks a little different, this could be tricky for you to assign specific people to specific days. You definitely could just wash by category and not assign the categories by days. So it could just be like you wash person 1 whenever and person 2 whenever. My best suggestion for this method is to have different kinds of hampers or colored laundry hampers for each person or category. Makes sorting so much easier, so the dirty clothes can easily get sorted and then they're just going into the washing machine already sorted. So like I have these smaller specific ones for my kids, one of each color for each kid, and then I have these larger ones that are the adult hampers. Now, piggybacking off of that method, another system that might work for you is the delegation or family system. With this approach, everyone over a certain age is essentially doing their own laundry on their assigned laundry day. So again, everyone has a set day and they are responsible to get their laundry done in that day. I do think, again, that this is a really nice way to get your kids involved. This is one method that I haven't been able to do fully because I still have toddlers and babies in my house, but I have tried it in some ways. Like we had a system that we used for a little while where like Monday and Tuesday was my husband's day to do like whatever laundry he had or he wanted to get done. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we did all the kids' laundry. And then on the weekend, I did my laundry. The hardest part of the system is like washing by category, you do have to stay on top of which day is which. And since you have multiple family members involved, it is a lot more likely that like one person is gonna forget that it was their day and it's gonna throw off the whole week. And while in the long term, there is gonna be benefit to having kids who can do laundry. This is really great. There's definitely going to be some hand-holding that is required on your end to make sure that everyone is staying on track. So it does require a larger time investment, especially up front, and just general time investment in like planning and keeping people on track. All right, the next method is what I call the AM/PM method. And this essentially just means you're tending to your laundry once in the morning and then once again at night. This is really great if you have super busy days or you're somebody who is not home during the day. So you can either be like switching it in the morning and then turning on a load at night or vice versa. When I use this method, really what I thought about it as is just that I was tending to the laundry once in the morning and once at the night. If it needed to get switched, then I would switch it. If it needed to get folded, then I would fold it. If I needed to run a new load, I would run it. The point is just that you have a time in the morning and a time at night when you are tending to it. What I love about the AM/PM load is a very low effort. It really easily becomes a habit because it's just 2 times a day. You're not requiring that you remember to do anything during the day when most of us are the most busy and most likely to forget. You can just tie it to a habit that you already do in the morning and night. Most of us already have like morning and evening routines anyway. So like start the load when you're having your coffee and then put the dryer on when you're brushing your teeth. It becomes really ingrained in your daily schedule because we already have our evening and morning routine sort of set. Putting away the laundry can be tackled a few ways with this system. When I had 2 kids, I would wash the kids' clothes using the AM/PM system until all of the kids' clothes were clean, which would take 2 or 3 days, and then put all of that away and then do the same with the adults. You could also choose to like use the AM/PM slots to put away clothes. You kind of can play around with that part of the system. A tip that I have for the AM/PM load is to consider looking into how to use the delay option on your washing machine. So instead of starting a load at night and then having it like sit there and be wet all night long, you can delay it like 8 hours or 12 hours or whatever, so it'll be more freshly washed when you wake up to switch it. Most modern laundry machines these days have a delay option. All right, the final method I want to talk to you about is called outsourcing. This is essentially when you outsource your laundry to somebody else to do, whether it's a pickup service or it's a drop-off service. This is the one method that I personally have not used consistently. I have used it, however, and I find it to be very handy when I'm in super busy seasons of life. I've used it when I got home from vacation and I have like suitcase fulls of laundry, or just like in a really crazy busy week, or when I have a newborn. But obviously the biggest downfall of this method is that there's a cost associated with it. And this is why it's one that I personally have not used consistently. Another con is that not everyone has access to like a reliable service in their area. The company that I have used is called Poplin. I'll put their information down below. It's like a DoorDash for laundry. I don't live in like a super crazy populated area. I'm like in the suburbs and we do have it here. So it's something to check out. I do have a code that'll give you a discount, and I'll put that in the description if you want to check it out. Okay, so those are the different methods for doing laundry. I did create a little quiz that you can use if you're still not totally sure which method is right for you. Right now, it's going to ask you some questions, and then it's going to lead you to the method that might be the right one for your current season of life. But the main reason that I wanted to sit down and do this video is because I think we all think that maybe there's just like this one golden method out there that's gonna make laundry so much easier. But the truth is, laundry sucks. It just does, right? It is as painful as trying to figure out what's for dinner every single night. But by finding a method that meshes with the season of life that you're in right now for your family and for your house, it can make it suck like a little bit less. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.